Today on TFL Bike, we have the best news to roll across our desk so far this year.
Yeah, is it the first piece of news? Is that
Yeah,
why?
it's pretty much the first news, but it's a bike that we've been looking forward to, and he is especially looking forward to.
I'm excited for this one. Anybody that spends a lot of time at a racetrack on a motorcycle has been hearing rumors about this bike and has been pretty excited about it. And we have an all-new 400cc Super Sport to tell you guys about.
Yeah, the Kawasaki Ninja ZX-4RR, and the one that we have a picture of here is the KRT edition in this bright green, classic to Kawasaki. This is a bike that we've talked about before because it's one that we expected to come this year, and now it is confirmed with all of the specs.
Yeah, we've got everything right in front of us. We have pricing, we have availability, so let's jump right into it. Like Case said, the name of it, ZX-4RR KRT edition. I believe they're only doing the KRT edition, at least at launch, but probably we'll see some
down the line.
Yeah, we'll see some other colors, and then this will be the more expensive one with the race graphics on it. But talking about what's powering this bike, it is a 399cc dual overhead cam inline 4-cylinder that makes 26.5 pound-feet of torque.
Yeah, they didn't say horsepower.
They didn't say horsepower figures, so we'll have to wait till one of the other publications get this bike on a dyno. But we do know over a 15,000 RPM redline, an assist and slipper clutch, and a 6-speed transmission with an up and down quick shifter.
Yeah, which is pretty good, even though it's not going to be an absolute powerhouse of an engine. I mean, over 15,000 RPM is going to make it a pretty fun motor to rev out, you would imagine.
Yeah, I'm really hoping I can get some seat time on one of these. But yeah,
will.
Kawasaki's had the Ninja 400 for a while, but definitely a different engine configuration. I'm excited to see what riding a small displacement inline 4 is like on a track, because I've ridden small displacement bikes, I've ridden inline 4s, but never together in one package. So yeah, it's
a pretty cool package. And for brakes, to slow you back down, you have dual 290 millimeter front disc, so decent sized front brakes, 220 millimeter disc in the rear, of course ABS. Suspension is Showa 37 millimeter inverted forks. You have, of course, preload adjustment and a fully adjustable rear monoshock.
Yeah, I think it's really cool that you get this adjustability from the factory. It gives new riders who are, just kind of getting out on the street, learning things, something to tinker with, something to play around with. To be totally honest, people that are actually racing this bike and putting it on a track, they're going to rip the suspension out of this and they're going to put something else in it, which has been happening for years with the Ninja 400. So yeah, cool to see some adjustability, but I don't think it's not a premium top of the line suspension, but it is adjustable, which is cool. Then as far as, you said the fully adjustable rear monoshock, and then moving into some of the technology, which I'm really excited about. This bike has a really good looking 4.3-inch color TFT display. I really like, we just had the Z900 at our office, which had a really similar looking display on it. And I love the Kawasaki displays. I just think they're really colorful, really easy to read. And this will give you 2 different display configurations, so street and track. The track mode will give you things like a lap timer, best lap, and just kind of make some of the info you want to see bigger. And then there's also different power and riding modes. So this has Kawasaki traction control, KTRC. It also has 2 different power modes, and then 4 different riding modes: sport, road, rain, and rider, which is a custom mode, which will, as you go through those different modes, adjust the different traction control and power settings.
Yeah, so the way that it works is if you're in sport mode, you have traction control setting 1, so the least amount of intervention with full power. Road gets you traction control 2, so a little bit more intervention, still full power. And then rain is traction control 3, the most intervention and low power. And then in your rider mode, your custom mode, you can switch between any of those, and you can even go traction control off. You can also switch the power mode as well. So you've really got the full range there of options with your settings. Obviously, it's a pretty basic suite of rider aids. It's not anything crazy like we see on a lot of flagship super sport bikes, but it's good basic tech to have.
Yeah, I mean, I like that there's different modes you can play around with. On a small displacement bike like this, I'd probably be in sport mode all the time because, let's be honest,
Well, part of the fun of a small bike is it's easier to ride hard.
Exactly. You can ring it out, and sport mode on this is probably similar to rain mode on a lot of other bigger displacement bikes. So, it's cool to see nonetheless. And again, this is a bike that I know I keep going back to the track thing, but that's kind of where my brain's at with this. But this is a bike that a lot of people are going to look at as their first motorcycle or even second motorcycle. It's going to be a popular beginner bike, and I like that it has some features you'd find on a much more expensive, much more premium bike to get riders into it and get people excited about it.
And it does have a quick shifter as well that works above 2,500 RPM. You can also hook it up to the Rideology app. There's a Bluetooth chip in the dash that connects to your phone, gives you vehicle info, a riding log, your maintenance schedule, settings, so you can pull up a lot through that app. But no, like you said, it's probably going to be a track bike for a lot of people, probably also going to be a first bike for a lot of people. I think there's still a place in the market for the Ninja 400 because it's less aggressive. That's still going to give you that sport bike styling with the full fairing, but it's not going to have as aggressive of a riding position. I think realistically,
it's a lot more affordable too.
Yeah, I think if you're looking at a first bike, probably the Ninja 400 is going to be the better option for you. Versus if you want to get into track riding, this would be a phenomenal package because I don't ride track, but as you experienced getting into track riding with your KTM, having a smaller displacement bike to learn on really teaches you how to corner.
Yeah, I was having a blast passing, 1200cc super bikes and stuff on my little tiny KTM, and this would be the same thing. I've said it on this channel a few times. I always have wanted to own a Ninja 400. That's out the window, I think. I really want to own one of these. I'll probably wait a year or two till the price comes down and I can find one used, but I do think this is a bike that is going to be in my garage at some point down the line.
For tires from the factory, you have Dunlop GPR 300s. It's a 160 width in the rear and a 120 width in the front. It's about a 4-gallon tank, and it weighs 414.5 pounds curb weight. So it's not a super light bike, which kind of makes sense. I mean, an inline 4 is...
It's got 4 cylinders, yeah.
Inline 4 is never going to be an incredibly light engine compared to, a parallel twin or even a thumper. But, 414 pounds compared to leader bikes and even 600s is not too bad.
No, I think that's totally acceptable. Real quick, we do have pricing and availability, but before we get to that, I just want to touch on the styling of this bike a little bit, because I think it's a pretty sharp looking bike and it totally matches the rest of the Kawasaki Super Sport styling. I like how Kawasaki puts this lip below the headlights. I just think it kind of gives it that aggressive sporty look. It's an all new model, but you look at it and you know where it came from.
It's a sharply styled Super Sport all around, but it screams Kawasaki, especially in the KRT graphics package with Kawasaki's classic bright green. So everything that we would have expected and hoped for in the styling department. And we'll go ahead and say the price, $9,700, and it should be available in spring of this year, 2023.
Yeah, and I think that price is right about what people expected. I was on a Yamaha trip this past weekend at the Supercross event. We put a video up about that, and I was sitting around a lunch table talking with a bunch of journalists about this bike, and everyone expected it to be right around 10 grand. So
and that's what it is.
That's what it is, $9,700. Coming out spring 2023, so right around the corner. I'm really excited about this one.
Yeah, and this is a bike that almost certainly we're going to get our hands on because we've been working with Kawasaki a lot recently. They've been super cool with getting us bikes, and this is the motorcycle that I know for this guy especially, he's been the most excited about coming from Kawasaki anytime recently.
Yeah, so there you go. Big thank you to Kawasaki for getting us this news beforehand so we could bring it to you guys in a timely manner as soon as we could. Kawasaki, if you're doing a ride event or if you've got any of these in the press fleet, send them our way. I want to ride this thing. My leathers are ready, so let's do this thing. Rad bike. Let us know what your thoughts are down in the comments below, and we'll see you in the next video.